Good evening and welcome to Odessa the Dark Crusade Season 2. And welcome to a different kind of night. Madeline has been investigating in some things that have unnerved her? Not really. Well, if it unnerved her, she wouldn't say because obviously she never shows that she's afraid. But some information that she got a couple of days ago about Juno is concerning. Now she's holding a meeting with her dearest, well, one of her dearest ghouls. Her two other ghouls are there as well. And, well, currently, in a small house, Madeline is just waiting, standing in a corner in darkness. She's making the darkness engulf her, essentially. So it's impossible to see that she's there. And she's simply waiting for Juno.
Okay. After a short while, you hear the door at the front of the house begin to open and screeches rather loudly on its rusted hinges as it does so. As you will see Juno slowly and cautiously enter, just kind of looking around. Has her hand steepled, sort of inquisitive.
Please, my dearest, come. Come, sit. Please.
Oh, um, she she curtsies to you. Of course. She'll head up and take a seat with you.
Yeah, Madeline sits down across the table, just looking at her. Just smiles. So, tell me, have you learned anything? Learned anything of our new inhabitants? Of Rafik and his friends?
I will actually roll for her to see if she has. I will just roll in because I always, every time, forget to set up Discord before a scene. Big. Okay. Oh, there go. Juno has gotten 2 successes since then, which means she has procured you a little bit of information. I'm also going to roll her stealth real quick to ensure that nothing bad has happened. But She is very good at this. Yeah, she's fine. No trace. She will simply say, "Yes, dear mother, I have discovered several facts of import for you."
The door is closed at this point by one of her other ghouls.
Who's the other ghoul? Are they all here, or?
Her two monks. They're both here.
Okay. And another question, do you have Cradle Song active?
Yes.
Okay. That's not relevant now, I'm just asking for later. First of all, it appears the sex of Abraham has set aside their differences to come together.
Understandable. Under the circumstances.
They are headed. They're headed by the chief imam of the city, of course, but
But
they seem to be working together as a single unit to hunt down our kind and purge them from the city.
my kind. She smiles. Not your kind. I will give the embrace to you at some point if you wish it. But it is not humans they hunt. Is it?
No. Still, if they must hunt you, they must hunt me.
She looks at her and smiles. The two ghouls are not right behind her, but they're close. She looks to her and just says, I wish that it was so. But we both know that that is no longer the case. Dearest Juno, what have I said from the first day I took you in, after your original dominator died? What have I showed you? What have I always said is paramount of my teachings? I have always told you that I need willing people, willing disciples, willing students and teachers. If it is your will to no longer be with me, then I will not hold it against you. If you wish no longer be with me, well, then so be it. I will have to make certain precautions, of course, but I will not take your life. You understand, no?
I remain with you.
And yet, the blood between us no longer exists. That puts this statement of yours into question. I did not know such a thing was possible, but I suppose well, the people you are investigating have certain effects on people. You do not know me as to lie too much. I tend to be honest, such as our mother's harsh ways, such as my ways as well. Tell me, is it your wish to leave my services? If it is, well, I will do certain things to make sure that you do not know something that will put me in danger. But you will be allowed to leave, if it is indeed your wish. However, if it is another influence on you that has taken you, that you wish to be rid of or wish me to help you with, then now is the time to talk. Do not bother with lies. Do not bother with attempting. It is all right.
The silence is very long. And she simply says, I have not left your service.
But you have. Who or what severed the connection between us, I wonder? Tell me now, and you will spare yourself many lessons.
How did you know the connection between us was severed?
It's another one of the Great Mother's gifts. It is not really important. What is important is whether or not you wish to hunt or destroy me with your with these other people.
Do you want to roll me perception empathy real quick?
Do believe I have well, it doesn't matter. I have 5 successes.
Well, okay, excellent. Okay. When Juno says the connection between us was severed, something about that statement comes across as very artificial to you.
Hmm. She looks at her. Hmm. A more important question is, who have you been seeing? And does this person wish to talk to me? I will gladly meet. If this is something that he or she wishes. The thing, though, I cannot help but feel is that someone is not giving you as much. Someone is not giving you the choice I am giving you. At least that is the sense I get. One would think that you would be more devastated about it. I have seen this effect before. It is positively, well,
Oh, something you should know about the bond that you can witness between Juno and this other figure. Um, it is not a blood bond. It is a spiritual bond, because that is something I believe Cradle Song can tell you. So you know the fundamental nature of the bond. Don't necessarily know what it entails,
who
but
have been talking to you. Can you tell me?
I could.
She's gonna look in her eyes and she's gonna roll a manipulation intimidation and use command. And she is going to ask her to tell her.
Let me double check. I think command. I think you want to use subjugate instead of command, because command is a single word. Unless it's
Mesmerize. Command, mesmerize.
subjugation is The reason I say subjugation is because subjugation is a slightly different role. Instead of manipulation plus intimidation, is manipulation plus leadership.
Okay. And I'm gonna spend a willpower.
I have no idea how this is meant to work.
I got 5 successes with the willpower. You are going to tell me who has done, well, whatever the person has done to you. Now.
1 second. Because this is actually really complicated.
I can uncomplicate it. Because I can do it, like, I'm cool with her just being stopped or something. Like, maybe she looks conflicted, but can't.
Sorry, it's just that this is a very rules-wise, this is a very nebulous grey area that I'm trying to. Okay. I've just found an answer. You unleash the discipline of domination, and you order her to tell you, and she remains silent.
Fair enough. She lifts an eyebrow, shrugs, and then she rolls manipulation occult, and I'm going to use Kazemp.
Okay.
And if I am not mistaken, yeah. She just says Kazemp as she points. I think she just looks at her and just says it. And it shatters a bond, infernal or spiritual, between her and whoever.
Okay. Yeah, you just issue some sort of invocation that you either sing or speak.
Yeah.
And you're attempting to break this bond, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. They look very surprised. You see the bond shatter through your cradle song. You see it just snap. And do you know Juno leans forward in their chair. Narrows their eyes at you, but doesn't look particularly hostile. They look very curious as they say, "Now, how did you do that?"
Our mother opens many, many doors for those strong enough. Is it you, Juno, or is it someone else I have the pleasure of talking to?
If you're willing to work with me, I can help you reclaim her. And even help you get back at the person who did this to you. Well, and me.
Ah, I see. So, who do I have the pleasure of talking to?
Oh god, I have to look up that name. Did he even have a name? Let's see. Alright, I'm just gonna. Okay. I am the Sham.
And what may, pray tell, are you doing in my servant's form?
I was given a very specific set of commands over one who holds power over me.
Well,
I've done a great deal to assist, but
may I add one thing? Who did hold power over you?
still does.
Hmm. So it is a he. Madeline frowns a bit. What might I tell? Do tell. Am I guessing that the person who holds sway over you is called Bastion?
Bit meta there, dude.
What? What
Was
did
a
you say?
bit meta there, dude. um,
No, well, the thing is, he has already actually said to Madeline's face that, out of character, he has already stated to Madeline once that he knew things that he should not know about her comings and goings and about the hunters.
oh, he openly stated that to her in a scene.
He said in Elysium, "Oh, by the way, that hunter problem you have with Rafik, I can take care of that for you."
Oh, fair enough. Totally legit then.
He said that flat out to her and noted in the scene, out of character, that you know that he shouldn't be able to know that. So I would say that's a
That's a
somewhat
fair
clear
assumption
indication
then.
that,
Yeah, sorry, I was under the assumption that
yeah, yeah, that's totally fine. That did
he had
happen.
not
So
said that at all, yeah. But
actually, she has actually thought of asking him if she is under investigation, but let's because
well,
she's curious. But hey, what do you know? But she does says, "Hmm, a spirit of the dead inside. Hmm. Well, I would really like to have her reinstated."
your poor June has been sent away to a very, very, very far away place. I am, however, quite well equipped to find her.
Hmm.
It would take me some time. The lands of the dead are as vast as the lands of the living, after all. I do not know specifically where she has been sent, but I
Do
know
you know
people who
why?
could.
Why the good sheriff simply does not ask me if there is anything I am to be investigated about? I know that you do not know these answers, but well. Hmm. She kind of just breathes in.
I believe, and they gesture at Juno's body, so gesture towards themselves. This was just a means to get to you.
Hmm. Oh, that is quite understandable.
I believe that Giovanni perceives you as a threat or a nuisance. I'm not entirely sure.
Well,
In any case, they feel the need to lash out at you. Perhaps they seek to replace your power base with one of their Lamian friends.
hmm.
But but that is unlikely. They don't intend to stay here for long.
Hmm. Well, I thank you very much for this.
I cannot help you in retrieving Juno.
That is fine.
Bastian has. He can simply remake this bond at his leisure.
I know. Well, I guessed as much.
However, there is one way in which you could permanently free me from this state of servitude.
Oh, do tell.
Sebastian possesses perfectly made, beautiful crimson stone. It is of that stone is what gives him the power to compel us.
Hmm.
They do say us, by the way.
Hmm.
Without the stone, he could strike us, he could harm us, he could send us
Surely it
to the
is the
labyrinth,
powers of
to
his blood
oblivion.
that allows him to do this.
One cannot function without the other.
Hmm. Fair enough.
He usually carries his stone on his person beneath his armoring. But if you could find a way to remove it from his person, then maybe I could find Juno for you. And you could have your little friend back. She was ever so confused.
I would assume so.
But given your people's propensity for self-harm,
She smiles.
I don't think she'll find the experience all that unpleasant.
And there's actually like a tisk 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 from Madeline, as she says. Learning.
Oh, there is much to learn. I just hope it hasn't turned her quite as inside out as you hope.
I guess we will see. I will reap for her if she is rendered dead or worse.
Oh, it's very difficult to kill the dead.
I know. She smiles. Quite a few people have tried.
It should be noted, they do speak Arabic, but it's very it's fluent, but it's spoken with a very heavy accent that feels feels outdated is actually the best way to put it. Can't really place the nation. And you have done a fair bit of traveling. You've traveled to a lot of different countries over the past century.
It will be a moment after when she just thinks of it and she just goes, that accent of yours. Where is that from? I cannot quite place it.
I don't believe that's the correct question. You shouldn't be asking where. You should be asking from when. It is quite a lot older than you.
Oh. Well. She looks at her. Am I to apologize?
I don't really mind, to be honest.
Fair enough.
All I really want is to leave.
To stay in the Shadowlands or beyond?
To walk where I wish to walk. To go where I wish to go. Not bound to this upstart Phoenician.
I will see what I can do. But if my servant does not return, you will remain in his service. That will be a pity, but oh well.
It would.
I do not know if you are familiar with politics, but they have a role. Well, I do believe you should go back to your new, well, your old, very old master, I suppose. Until I know that Juno is returned, I do not wish you around. I hope you do not find that as an offense.
That's not going to be an option if I'm giving the order.
Oh, that is true. I suppose you will know. Can you tell the sheriff, or ask the sheriff, am I under investigation? If so, he could inform me. And by right, he thinks that he can take my servant from me. I do not believe myself in any breach of any laws or traditions. Of course, there is nothing against what he has done, but still, normal courtesy. He is very new to this city, and still he does this. It is perplexing to me. If you could ask him these questions, and please make him send me a letter, I would be ever so grateful.
If nothing else, seeing you two attempt to kill each other is going to be a refreshing change of pace.
Don't get your hopes up.
Oh no. If you don't wish to kill him, he'll definitely wish to kill you. But again, I am merely a man on the stands.
Well, I assume that he wishes to kill me one way or the other, but I will cross that bridge when I get to it.
I think you'll find we don't have bridges, only ferrymen. But I'll give my master your message.
Thank you. See yourself out.
Goodbye, Miss Madeleine.
Goodbye. Actually, Gerard, and please show Juno out of the neighborhood. You all, well, whatever it is, the Juno formed, whatever it is, will be followed out, and Madeline will herself leave the house not long after, and will take a roundabout way, and she will meet up with the seneschal.
As Juno goes to leave, you notice their skin and muscle begins to twist and contort as they take on the form of an entirely new person.
Interesting.
This is also absolutely triggering a phobia flaw because it vastly resembles vicissitude to the point where it is labeled as vicissitude in D&D.
I will spend another willpower. As she gets creeped the fuck out.
Actually, 1 second. Let me double check. Is it a willpower check or a courage check?
It's a courage check, or I'd spend a willpower to ignore it whenever confronted by the what is it? The object of your, or is that vengeful?
No. Phobia, you make a courage roll, difficulty determined by the storyteller, but if you spend a willpower, you succeed anyway, so.
Okay, fair. Okay, so I didn't remember it right. All right.
Yeah.
And she's going to head to the seneschal.
Alright, you're going to go find the seneschal.
Mm-hmm.
You can arrange a meeting with him probably 24 hours just because of Dark Ages communication. So you'll meet him the next night.
Fair enough.
Very early on, but you will meet him. Well, outside of his domain again. In fact, he will meet you inside of yours.
Fair enough. As she meets him, she will greet him, offer him blood as is custom.
Your drink. Lady Madeleine, what can I do for you?
I apologize for disrupting any business, but I must regretfully inform you that I might have been compromised. I do believe we should perhaps walk and talk, if at all possible.
He's gonna do something. His eyes turn jet black. And he will simply say, elaborate.
One of my servants, my ghouls, have been replaced by a spirit of some sort. I do not know how much information has been acquired in this way or how far it goes back, but I do believe that our newest sheriff is quite invested in learning as much as he can about me. This presents a danger to myself, of course, but to my business as the clan, to the clan itself. I have made him aware and asked if I am under investigation and why, by what right he thinks he can take my servant from me. He might come after me, and I wished to inform you before anything escalated. If you wish to limit my workings with the clan due to this, I completely understand. I learned of it last night. I came to you at the earliest convenience.
Hmm. I see. Then I shall make it clear to him that my clan is not to be intruded upon.
If that is your wish.
Tell me what you know.
And she will explain what she gathered. That it was a spirit commanded, and she had made it talk. Do you want me? Do you want me to roll manipulation subterfuge? Since she is probably going to lie and say that she dominated the person to do it.
Why would she say that? I'm confused.
Because she's not going to elaborate on the fact that she has something else that can break bonds like that.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Especially not to this guy.
Yeah, that seems like it'd be a bad idea. You're very lucky he doesn't actually have any specs to decrease the difficulty of this roll for himself. He still has a really good dice for it, though.
And I'm going to spend a willpower.
He does have the insightful specialty. Oh god.
One,
Uh-oh.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, he has he rolled incredibly well. He actually gets 8 successes.
Yeah, I get 6, so it's not.
Oh, okay. So he suspects something off of your statement.
But it's that point of her explanation.
Yeah.
That's a bit vague.
Well, no, he's just going to raise an eyebrow because this is something he actually knows because he's old, and the fact that he can see them too.
Okay. But yeah, Madeline is going to try and obfuscate that because reasons.
He will simply say after you explain this all to him, and he kind of soaks it all in. He's just kind of nods. Very valuable information, Lady Madeleine. Very valuable indeed. So, these spirits are tied to some sort of memento that Sebastian keeps on his person. Interesting.
Could it? And yet, one thing troubles me. This is what the spirit explained. But to what degree do we know in which way he controls the spirit? Perhaps this is what the spirit thinks. Perhaps that it is tied to his blood and we would spend time looking for something that is worthless, or it is different, or this is what he wants us to think. He had the ability to make it not say anything, to remain silent, to me having to force it.
Well, yes, that is what troubles me also, Lady Madeleine. After all, you cannot dominate a ghost.
And I'm gonna roll because that was kind of a oops. Yeah, Madeline looks well. She actually doesn't look too troubled by that, but she's like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Oh yeah, he sees right through
yeah,
it. Six
he
successes.
spots the fact that she goes, "Oh fuck!" Like, okay, yeah, and she doesn't mention it. She just goes, "Okay." Is there anything else you wish to do? I do not. Well, above all, I do not wish to compromise the clan's position. That is paramount, especially with hunters. Well, she will also um, she will also divulge the information she has learned of the hunters. The little new information she has.
Yeah. He looks unsurprised by this news, and he simply says, I would recommend going to ground. I'd recommend sending your cult to ground. Not just with the unfortunate timing of the sheriff's investigation. But your organization no doubt will not have made many friends within the church. In fact, if I recall, you are considered.
I know.
Which I never actually added that to your sheet. I never added that flaw to your sheet, but yeah.
They will move away. I will make the preparations myself. If that is your wish, it shall be done.
I would recommend moving them far away and yourself finding a place to hide. For you will
Now
already
that
be known to them.
now that will not be necessary. You know me well enough. I do many things, but hide is not one of them.
Then so be it.
You think that these hunters are that much of a threat? Or are you speaking of other things?
humans, mortals, are weak, manipulable, ignorant. Frankly, rather simple creatures, on average. But these things are inextricably tied to each other. Their weakness is defined by their ignorance and how manipulable they are. And once they're no longer ignorant, they're no longer so weak. And then they become a threat.
Well, I thank you very much for your counsel.
You are currently not compromised. There is no spirit following you. But that may change after my departure.
You yourself are leaving?
He does not answer that question.
She will bow and she will say, "Can I know when your departure is?"
He vanishes.
Oh, damn! Madeline will just stand there, nod to herself. I see. And she will leave.
And I think that's a fairly good place to end it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, players, for playing ST First Team. Goodbye.